Alright, what we're doing here is a quick video on Overdress Set 1 and how it's one of the best sets we've had since frickin' Cheat Series. Before I go straight into it though, a quick recap on what Overdress is. It's going to be really short because we already said it, but for people who are new. Overdress is the third retrain on Cardfight Vanguard that focuses on fixing the game's issues, problems, and adding a new show based on realism as opposed to intense card game fighting.
With it.
Yeah, with aliens.
We should also maybe give a recap of why we've had two other renditions of this game.
Long story short, Cardfight Vanguard G died because we got Zeroth Dragons, which were way too strong and were really unfun to fight against, and were able to be abused easily. And then V-Series died because the power level of V-Series was way too high, and they kept power creeping every box. So we got Overdress. And Overdress so far seems to be proving to not do that, which makes me very happy. And the main differences you'll see in Overdress opposed to other card game, or the other old card game, is instead of clans, we have nations. So any nation within the same color can use any card. Or any card in that nation can use any card with that color.
Which is amazing.
And the other thing is the ride line, which prevents Grade Screw, and I hate Grade Screw, so that's my favorite change in all of history. Now, let's start off with our favorite nation and why we picked them, the history of why we picked them, and our favorite deck. One of you could go first.
We're going this way, so Josh, you...
Yes. Your favorite nation and why you picked that nation.
My nation is Dark States, which is not because of the football players, but because of the Dark Irregulars, which was my favorite clan.
Yes. Dark States focuses on soul-based gameplay and playing the long game. They have the strongest strategies, but need the highest costs in the longest game.
And so, specifically, Barrow Magnus archetype, what I prefer, but the Bruce boys are cool too.
Yeah.
And Donji's favorite character, Overdress, so works out.
He's always liked Dark Irregulars, and Spike Brothers is like a mix of Dark Irregulars, Pale Moon, and Spike Brothers in one deck. All three of which are insanely fun.
Never played Spike Brothers too. Only used Pale Moon once.
Even though on both our tests it said it come up like, hey, you didn't enjoy Spike Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then I played Spike Brothers, and I was like, wait, this is actually really fun.
Yeah, I don't know why. That's like one of those clans that evaded all of us somehow, the four of us in our group.
Because it was a bunch of football players. I don't care about
It's 'cause
football.
It fits me so well. It has so many deck building options. It's soul based, or resource based, which are my favorite decks, and it has amazing offense and defense. I also
I like soul manipulation and stuff like that.
and Dark States.
Oh, Darks, specifically Barrow Mag.
You got. That's it. You can talk about your history of what you played up to here.
Oh yeah, our
well-
first decks were those awful Kai decks.
Narukami starter deck number like 8.
It was such a bad deck.
The starter decks back in those days were so bad. You got one of your boss who sucked. You got one of your boss who's bad, a bunch of vanillas, no way of beating your opponent, no perfect cards. Like, what were they thinking? And it's like $20.
Wait, really? Those things were worth $20?
Yes.
We just
Oh my
there was a ton
gosh,
of
dude.
Kai boxes.
I'm glad we're in much better times now.
We both hate Narukami too.
I think I hate it because of that deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Forever Tarnished while Isaac over there is having a great time with his Dragon Empire deck.
Narukami's okay, it's just not.
It's just a hyper aggressive Kagero.
But we got that, and then I bought 2 boxes for $5, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
heck yeah!
And then,
And then I
he
come
comes home with freaking starter box number 5, or like art pack number 5. He gets 2 boxes for $5 each, and I'm like, that's the worst box.
I'm like, it was like $5 for a whole box though.
We got 2 Spectral Duke Dragon, who is the cover card, and he was worth $5 because that box was trash. Every card did the same thing. No clan felt different from each other at all.
I don't remember when I bought that, but it did nothing to change my opinion on whatever clan I was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so needless to say, I did not. Yeah, sounds like we had a very fun beginning of this.
Yes.
Start of this.
Times
Times did not look bleak.
Then
I
you moved on to Shadow Paladin Revengers for Break Ride Hero.
I guess that was my first. Yes, that was like my first actual deck, and it was not very good.
Yeah.
It was fine.
But he had ways of calling cards. His Break Ride was a win condition. And he had Blaster Dart.
it was neato. I played that, then I decided to make an Angel Feather deck, and
His Legionnaire of Angel Feather deck was
it was garbage. I didn't have a lot of money, but still, what was I thinking with some of those choices?
And your first like actually good deck was a G deck. It was
Yeah.
what was it?
I bought
I forgot what he even played in G.
Played
Shadow Paladin.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow Paladin, Asha, and
I have a Grand Blue deck.
Yeah,
I forget when
Night Mist.
I forget when I actually did that. Oh, we were at a convention, I think.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just bought some decks.
Wait, was I there with that?
Correct. That's where you got.
Oh wait, no, he bought Neonectar, didn't he?
Yeah.
I did buy
yeah.
Neonectar.
Yes, he bought Neonectar.
I bought that after Grand Blue, I think. I'm pretty sure. But of the G decks I played, I'm only counting Angel Feathers because the played it in the video game.
Oh yeah.
I don't actually have a Angel Feather deck. So I played that, Neonectar, which favorite.
Because of the math. You play 80. What Neonectar did is you play a card. If it has the same card name, you activate an effect, which is usually a boost effect. So you keep playing the same cards, and then it's like, okay, this guy got 5, this guy got 2, this guy got 5 again, this guy got. Hold on.
Hold on, I think I messed up somewhere.
Yeah, it's just like busting out a math calculator real quick. Hold on. You have a freaking like a D&D master over there, like with his own spreadsheet, making sure you keep track.
I like the idea of the deck. I just don't like.
It's more fun in video games.
I don't like the map. Yeah, it counts for you.
And then
Imagine that.
G died.
I also had the
Oh,
legendary Ren
yes.
deck.
That was his first good deck.
That's because it was like from the start. It just gives you a tournament ready deck.
It also gives you Phantom Blaster Diablos, who
And
is
he is kind of.
he was way too OP when he came out. He got fixed when G guards came out, which are the best thing to happen to Vanguard G. That was the previous most fun era, was G guard era.
Yeah. I guess my 3 favorite clans. I guess Dark Irregulars is my favorite. Then Grand Blue and Shadow Paladin. And then
And then V Series, he
V-Series,
got one deck.
I got one deck, and I kept meaning to buy boxes, and I never did. So all I have is a really, really bad early Shadow Paladin deck.
I'm gonna go off on V series. It's fine. I'll wait my turn.
And so for all of V series, what I suffered, he was like, "This is okay. I prefer G series."
Yeah.
And then, an Overdress came out, and he got Bruce for $4,
$4 deck.
and his Barrow Magnus is honest. And this is his second good deck.
Yes. So that's great. The only way to make me pick something that's not Dark Stage is if you make a Christian
Christian charm?
from the live stream.
Oh
Yeah.
that live stream was amazing.
Ah.
But that's his favorite deck in Nation, and that was his
It's
history.
also Shaman King deck, Token Rom. Those their own.
Yeah, they're their own nation. Starting off, we have Adam now.
Oh, well, I thought we were going to do you next.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I was just going to do it in this motion.
Alright, my history's the longest, so... Buckle off, kids.
We'll just play some Vanguard while you're talking.
I was the one who found Vanguard on Pojo forums for Yu-Gi-Oh! If you guys know what those are.
I don't.
I certainly don't.
They're trash. I was like, I want to play a card game with a clan system, like samurais and stuff. That'd be sick. I looked up, and there was one. Well, Card Fight Vanguard. Everyone's like, everyone on Pojo forum was like, this game sucks. It's so luck based. Clans are bad. I was like, I looked it up. 2 Kai starter decks at Walmart for some reason. Why not? And then I ordered a Misaki Tokura Oracle Think Tank deck because I liked the cover card. And while I waited for them to come in the mail, we played Limit Break Era, which was our first era. We didn't know how bad they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were unaware. But then we watched the show. I watched it as a joke. I was like, this is gonna be stupid. It's gonna be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Haha. And then episode 2 or something, I'm like, this Misaki character is really funny. I think I'm gonna watch a bit more just for her. And then I watched like 10 episodes a day, and I'm like, wow, I'm feeling something for these characters. What is this feeling? And then my Misaki deck gets in, I'm like, this is so much better than the Narukami deck. It came out before it.
That's funny.
It has a win condition for one,
Oh.
which is have a bunch of cards in your hand, you get plus 5,000 power. Which back in the day, in Limit Break Era, that was crazy.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Thunder Break Dragon need to be at 4 damage to do it, but I don't want to talk about Thunder Break Dragon. It gives me freaking PTSD. And then we finished season 1, and I'm like, that was unironically one of the best anime I've ever seen in my life.
I can believe it too.
That ending, where it'd be so emotional. I had to play this game now. I was hooked. So I bought the video games. I played Tsukiyomi, if you guys remember Tsukiyomi, as in the only deck from 2012 to play. He's classic. Oh, she's a classic, sorry. And then Break Ride Era happened. I watched season 3. Misaki switched her deck to Genesis. And me and Josh were both like, that looks really fun, wow. So I pre-ordered the Genesis starter deck for me. And it was cool. It came with one Angelica, but she was a really good card. And season 3 had a bunch of aliens, but Misaki was really cool in it. Really good character development, so who cares. And then Break Ride Era is when I'm like, I like Vanguard so much, I want to play with my friends. I want to give them my old Narukami deck.
I'm gonna get to that, but it's fine. The evolution of that.
So I give it to my friends, and I show them how cool Vanguard is. And then we're like, oh, this is cool, this is cool. I like Vice Charts. Probably because our decks were better in that game. So, for Legion Era, I played Yggdrasil, of course. Break Ride Era, I played my favorite Vanguard deck ever, Minerva. Very fun. Whole gimmick is you put a bunch of cards in Soul. When she attacks, she can stand back up if you get rid of 3 cards from Soul. And then those cards all have a billion effects. There's so many game options. Really fun. Yggdrasil's not as fun, but it does basically the same. Then G Era came out. I played. My first deck I got in G Era was Messiahs, which were a lockdown deck that had pressure. And I played Magia Pale Moon. Really fun deck. Genesis. New Minerva. Everyone likes New Minerva. She's very funny and fair.
If anyone's seeing my face, it's because I'm having this face as he's listening all these off, and I'm remembering the PTSD that he's caused just because of their lockdown.
Freaking. First they fight Messiah and they're like, that's kind of annoying, but we can deal with it. Then they fight Magia and they're like, wow, he attacked 80 times a turn. That's kind of annoying, but I can still deal with it. And the new Minerva comes out.
And we're just like...
Just like, bro, I'm not having fun no more.
Because her thing is, Minerva got to attack again by soul blasting cards, and then the soul blasted cards got a billion effects. This Minerva soul blasts more cards to restand the entire field. Then that died, and V Series came out. And I was like, okay, I was kind of annoyed playing against Zeroth Dragons anyway. They were really frustrating.
And they made a whole meta, which made the game very unfun.
Exactly. So in V Series, I immediately got new Oracle Think Tank, which was even more fun than old Oracle Think Tank. I was like, V Series is going a great direction. I like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that new deck I got.
And then Box 4 comes out, immediately power creeps everything. Pale Moon is nuts. Shadow Paladin is nuts. The card we thought was going to be broken that stops you from being able to ride was not nuts. It was actually kind of fair, somehow.
Speaking of, I kept trying to make decks, I never finished them. I have an unfinished Angel Feather and Gramble. And Dark Irregular deck.
It sounds like a lot of things that are just unfinished.
I haven't bought like a $13 card for my Dark Irregular deck I never finished.
Speaking of unfinished, my favorite clan, it's finally here. Genesis V Series Edition. It's super dumbed down. No cards have on Soul Blast effects, so point. None of the bosses, all the bosses are really slow. And it never felt like they finished the deck until the literal last box. So Genesis players crying in the background. Well, every deck gets power crept every box and becomes less and less fun.
Including Great Nature.
Including Great Nature. Oh, I hate V Series Great Nature. You want to talk about unfair.
I started.
I don't think you ever told me about that.
So V Series Great Nature's thing is every time they attack, they get rid of the top card of their deck. If it's a trigger card, they get a strong effect. If it's a not trigger card, they get an even stronger effect. And at first, this was bearable because they sucked.
Yeah.
And then New Genesis and New Great Nature came out. New Genesis was weird. They didn't Soul Blast at all. They were based off of getting a million imaginary gifts. And then playing a grade 5, who's also a Vanguard, and you attack with a bajillion attack.
Didn't you have that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was really weird how they had a grade 5 in there. Weren't we getting rid of grade 4s and all this? Why is this a thing?
And then grade 5s actually weren't that good because they know how much time it takes to set them up.
Yes.
But it's okay. I prefer it takes time to set up your overpowered card than you just being able to go, Zeroth Dragon, okay, you lose. But then, New Great Nature over here is like, okay, my Vanguard makes it so we all get both effects. So you get the trigger effect and the non-trigger effect when you fire a card from top of your deck. And now, let me just... Okay, I have 80,000 power, what are you gonna do? I'm like, huh? How is this fair?
It's not bad. I don't think you ever told me about that.
I didn't play V series.
What was it that ultimately broke it? Wasn't it someone from? Wasn't it like some dark like shadow card or something like that?
It was Shadow Paladin. It was the guy who broke the original series, freaking Luard.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
Luard over here breaking every series in Vanguard.
Which means don't bring him.
Don't bring him to Overdress. He'll get something.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about Lord, but Lord somehow has like this force outside of its own card that somehow is able to destroy the entire card series that it's in.
Luard over here is like, okay, I ride Luard, right? I then kill 3 cards and I get to ride Luard. Normally when cards do this in V series, the card that rides on top of the card doesn't have a marker, so you can't just spam markers. He had a marker. So we're like, okay, that's something. And then he gets to kill a card to call 2 cards. You're going plus. And when the turn ends, he rides the card on top of him. So you get 3 markers in one. So Genesis sucks. And every deck I play is bad, except for Pale Moon, which also got so broken they had to ban a card.
And now you're playing.
But now it leads us to the current.
Yes.
What's it called?
Overdress.
Murakumo?
Yeah, Murakumo. And then we finally end V series, and I'm like, I actually sigh of relief because I was getting sick of V series. I was so like done. I went from going in like, yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna fix it with Vanguard. It's gonna be great. And then I'm like, oh boy, another card that gets to restand all the cards in. That's so strong and original, man.
I forget. Did they officially announce it was going to be done, or did they, or did that get signified whenever Overdress?
There's like, we're gonna make one huge super box, and it's being rotated out. Everyone's like, rotate out. What are they gonna do?
Yeah. So I think you should tell the story of what happened that day.
Yeah.
So wasn't it like a Friday morning or something like that?
3 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to download Fantasy Star Online 2, which is the longest download in video game history. Like, what the frick? And then I'm like, I'm so bored. I'm looking through Twitter, and I see this guy, this little guy on the Vanguard Japanese Twitter. His name's Yu or something, and he has a card with this weird mark called the Over Trigger. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. And then I'm looking into it. It's like new series designed by not only Vanguard originals but card game superstars. New triggers. We are making all these nations. And I'm like, stop! Whoa, what's going on here? Hold on. Fixed from the ground up. Ride decks to fix ride consistency. New deck options.
New anime.
New anime, which is all characters designed by Clamp. And over triggers, which is the only thing I don't like about Overdress. Which is, if you get it, 100 million power in a super strong effect.
To be fair though, it is 1 in 50.
Exactly, which is more fair than anything I can say in all of V series.
I have both won and lost, I believe.
Actually, so
Yeah.
no. I'll wait till. And I'll say something.
So, I'm calling these people. I'm like, guys, oh my gosh, for real this time. They're fixing Vanguard.
It's like the boy who cried wolf. It's just like, guys, I swear, there's something coming. It's here. It's real.
And everyone's
You're just trying not to sound crazy.
everyone's like, hey, these characters look kind of cool, actually. Whoa, nations. And I'm like, think about all the deck building options we can do. Dark State, or Dark Irregulars with Pale Moon. Mega Colony with Aqua Force. All these options.
I'm having to shut myself up so much here, but
And everyone's like, that does sound awesome, actually. And then, I pick the first yellow deck there is. So I'm like, there's no Genesis.
yeah.
I'm going with this Bastion guy. I don't know what he does yet, but his deck like they all had their own label what their deck is. Bastion's was the weak Vanguard commands his powerful rear guards. And I was like, that sounds cool. That sounds like something I would do, like an RPG. Because I don't like playing the strong guy. I like playing the guy that makes my friend stronger.
Yeah.
And then they announced his effect, which is all your grade 3s get 2,000, and whenever you get a grade 3 in your drive check, discard a card and give it 10,000. And then his starter deck came with 16 grade 3s. Everyone was making fun of Bash. They're all like, there's no shield in this deck. This deck sucks. I have to run 18 million grade 3s.
Who the frick needs shield whenever you got this insane power?
Let's see here. You need 3 grade 3s in your starting hand. What is with these cards? They're so bad. And I'm over here like, I think they're alright. I think they're cool.
I think these two in particular were like just looking at their effects. And that's a lot of grade 3.
They weren't aware of the storm that was coming though.
And then I play it, and I'm beating my friend every time. I'm beating Joshua every time. I'm like, I think Bastion's really good.
I was using some random decks. No, I only tried out like a one.
Yeah, you tried out
Magnolia.
Bruce and Magnolia.
We should also quote that there was like a free trial of this, or like a free thing of this they were able to do before it even came out, so they can play test this.
So like we could simulate the decks we want.
We played like 15 matches with Bruce, and I still couldn't win.
Yeah, I never got an over trigger.
I kept drawing an over trigger.
And
my very
what's
first
funny
trigger check was an over trigger.
Is after playing so many games, the only thing I could think about was, there's not enough grade 3s in this deck. It's not consistent enough. If I put 19 grade 3s in, my friend's like, so, do you think that's too much? Because I'm winning now. And I go, no, it's not enough. And I make a build that's like 25 grade 3s, 4 grade 2s, and 1 grade 1, or whatever. No, 5 grade 1s, because of the perfect cards. I've become unstoppable. Yeah, and then my secondary deck is Hex Orb, also in yellow, because it plays like Oracle Think Tank.
Yeah.
Can be really scary if you do it. And honestly, the most fun I've had in so long. That's my history. That's my 80-year-long history with Vanguard. I'm an old man. I'm as old as Bastion. Bastion is me. He's my avatar. Because in the show, they're like, oh, this is my avatar. This represents me in the card game. Bastion is me. I'm an old man with a really strong deck.
And then no one wants to fight you because you're too good at the game.
Now we go to Adam.
Yes. So, I'm gonna say this and be honest with you. I'm almost the exact opposite of Wyatt. I had almost no interest in any of this crap, to be honest with you. It's also, we should mention the notion that we've probably not said on this channel. I've known these guys for maybe almost 8 years now. Maybe almost 9. We're getting old. 14? I knew you in 2014.
Right after 2012, actually. Or no.
Oh.
2012 is when we met.
Wait, what?
I met you in 2014.
Yes, so regardless, I've known the Joshua here the longest. I met
Almost
Wyatt
10
here maybe year or so later, I want to say.
Yeah.
What's so funny, I tell the story so much, I thought you were Josh, just because, well, now you two look very much different. But back then, especially, just because, one, we were 15, 16.
Yeah.
And then your guys' hair, very similar color. And you guys had the same hair length, but now nowhere near close again.
No.
And I was like, oh, it's Josh. I'm like, wait, that's not Josh. What the frick is that?
Yeah, I can't get my hair that long. I try, and I have tried before.
What's so funny, I was gonna say, as much as great friends we are now, Wyatt, I remember when I first met you, we did not get along at all. I remember talking to you, and I just thought to myself, gosh, I can't get along with that guy. That's so weird to me thinking. I'm like, what the frick would you not get? Oh my, it's not because of him, it's because of you.
No.
But yeah, so I forget how we even talked in all this. And then also that I was talking to Isaac at the time, who's this fourth member who's not on this channel, but he will make his guest appearance here.
Yes.
And then I forgot how we all just started hanging out, and then you're just like, oh hey, you guys played card games? I'm just like, I played a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, sure.
Yu-Gi-Oh, huh? That's for casuals.
We actually played games of Yu-Gi-Oh, but my deck was like so much more, what's the term? Power crept because it's Yu-Gi-Oh,
And
the power creep game.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a fair fight.
Yeah.
My deck's garbage in Yu-Gi-Oh. It was the worst deck I've ever. I don't know why I made it.
Yeah.
Well, I know why I made it. I don't know why I kept using it.
Right.
Yeah. As I was saying now, so it wasn't Vanguard, but it was a game called Weiss Schwarz, and you've heard Wyatt say it before. But Weiss Schwarz, if no one knows, is black and white in German. So cool, fun thing. And it's made by the exact same card company as Vanguard.
And Bang Dream.
And so what that card game is it's not too much different than Vanguard in some ways, but it's more based around, the decks are based around either games or animes. So they go and get licenses and they make card decks all about those, pretty much. And at the time for me, I was a freaking massive weeb in my life, so when I heard card game and anime, and I played it and it freaking was fun, I was like, sign me up!
Yeah.
Sign me up! How do I get this? So then, so we get into that, and then Wyatt is also just like, hey, you wanna take a look at this game called Vanguard? And I'm just like, sure, I mean, it was that. And I remember and so the friends that he gave those old, awful, disgusting Narcomic decks were me and Isaac, and I remember you guys gave this to me.
Should we apologize?
I already
Okay,
have.
so
I have
listen,
not.
look, at the time I didn't realize how bad it was, but now thinking back to it, oh gosh, it's one of those things where I'm not even joking to you. I don't know how it did not ruin our friendship, if I'm being honest.
We got actual decks. We're just like,
I didn't even get an actual deck yet. I had a much better deck.
Yeah.
but
It had a win condition.
we're
Yes.
just like these decks away.
Yeah, I need my friends to play.
To be fair, it worked for the time to get us into it. So, so we get into that, but it still definitely was for a while though that Vice was definitely the bigger leading in our group for how much more fun we were having with that. And then at one point, Vanguard definitely getting the focus. So I stuck with that old Narcomic deck for a while. I think we got a few cards to fix it up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did.
I think we did.
We gave it a win condition.
Yes, we gave it a win condition. And then after that, I think my second deck, was it Royal Paladin?
Yes.
It was Royal Paladin. So I forgot why I went with Royal Paladin. I think.
Because I got Gear Chronicle, he got Near Nectar, and he went with Royal Paladin because they were the big three friends, and we were the big three friends, IRL.
Yes. Poor Isaac's crying in the corner over there.
But now we have the big four friends because there's four friends now.
Yes. So yeah, so I went with that, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is a lot more fun with this. And so I'm having more fun with this, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm just like, God, like, there's no. The problem with me was that there was not a play style in where I was having tremendous amounts of fun with it, and I was just like, because I'm not even trying to be like that. I just felt massively underpowered. I felt like I just wasn't doing too much in this game. But in Vice, I felt like I had an equal chance. But with this, I felt that the power gap between our decks was just into Masters was one. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys when I say this. I was just a stupid freaking 17-8-year-old who didn't want to read his card effects, who refused just to want to play the game the way it needed to be played, and Wyatt over here, bless your soul, I don't know why you dealt with me for so long, was just like, listen, look, it's not that complicated. It does this and all that. Oh gosh, I think back to it, I don't know how you put up with it for so long, but I'm thankful you did, and I think that's why I'm just like, man, I freaking love Wyatt for that reason alone. So I think I went to you and I was just like, so what's I don't even know how Aquaforce came up. How did Aquaforce come up? Do you remember?
In the video game, I posted a few of my video game decks.
Yeah.
And I was talking about, hey, these are, which one of these would you think? Do you think is the coolest art? And then I told you like the 3 gameplay styles, because you wanted a new deck to freshen things up. You wanted a new play style.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think I was really wanting to play more into this, but I just didn't like the way. One, those gosh awful decks you gave me first, and then also Royal Paladin was playing. But I forget what was the main focus of Royal Paladin. What was it?
You had specifically Brave Royal Paladin, which I hate. Which is so Royal Paladin's gimmick is they play cards from their deck. They're like, I like this card, I play it, shuffle my deck, and then I don't have to draw into it. Brave Royal Paladin is we're stronger than Royal Paladin. We only have 3 cards in our hands.
Gosh.
Which is such a stupid mechanic.
No wonder why I hated playing it, or not like playing it.
I'm losing the game. I'm now good.
Yeah, so I think so now it's starting to come back to me a little bit. So you described to me those play styles, and I was just like, that sounds fun actually. So we got me the trial deck, I think.
Yes.
So we got that, and I started playing with it, and I'm just like, oh, this is fun. And Wyatt just like leans into me like with the dark secrets. He's like, hey, do you want to know how to make this deck really broken and really, really fun? So we did almost a complete overhaul of this trial deck. I don't think there was many cards left of the.
It was basically just the Perfect Guards and Thavis.
Yes, I think it was basically all those, but we pretty much redid the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, which is a thing you can criticize G for, but
they made the starter deck so much better in G, but you still had to get 2.
Yeah, exactly. But but the thing was, why it gives me this whole list of these cards, and I'm just like, oh, I mean, so again, this is when I was too small brain to comprehend what all these card effects were doing and why this is happening. And also the thing, which we didn't state in G, they gave us grade 4s. Yeah. So this is ultimately why the game was broken. But before they broke the game, they were really pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
They were a separate. So pretty much how our like what was this deck?
Ride deck.
Our ride deck is now is how your grade 4 deck was for your deck. So they were cards that could only be played once, but they generally gave you a really good thing that happened. But they were done after that, and they couldn't be played ever again.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any cards that allowed you to play them, did they? Or was there a grade 4? Is that?
There were, but they were bad.
Okay, well, there you go. But yeah, so then, so we're getting all into this. And so it comes down to the day of why we build this new deck up. And I'm playing with this. And I have the biggest power trip I've ever had in a card game before. So to explain Aquaforce the way it works is Aquaforce is not just about beating you down with numbers, it's about beating you down with numbers in a very rushing it down style.
Yeah.
So normally most cards in the way they're played is that you have your front row, which is your main Vanguard and 2 rear guards, and then your back row, which is to support those. Aquaforce says, hey, we know that you like tackling with your first 3 Vanguards. How about you attack from the back row as well instead? So I don't just get to have 3 attacks that turn. I get to have 6. Oh, but it doesn't end there though, however. If you had certain cards, it would allow you to restand certain cards, meaning you got to have almost a potential, if you got everything you needed, 12 attacks go off in 1 freaking turn. Oh, but it didn't. That happened though. Whenever what was this? What was that one card? What was that grade 4? It was Lambros. So there was a grade 4 named Lambros, and so Wyatt was telling me why this would make my deck so freaking broken. Why it made it so much fun. Problem was at the time it was that he was a 15 or was he a $20 card?
He was like a $20 card, and you need at least 2 of them.
Yeah, so the thing about Lambros, and just again, I think about the design of them, like, why the frick would you put them? Is that you need to discard 1 Lambros to do a Lambros.
Yeah.
So, meaning, if you want them, it's going to say, hey, guess what, sucker? Pony at $40 if you want 2 of these cards in your deck. And that's for 2 cards! That's probably more than I built it for.
Yeah.
And so I remember Isaac. For like my birthday, I think he gave me one of the Lambros. I thought it was so nice of him and everything. A week goes by, and guess who got a freaking reskin or
A reprint.
A reprint, a Lambros. And that original one went from $20 down to I think $5.
Yeah, $5 each.
We were so mad. We were so mad. But no, I mean, regardless, we got the next one, and I got that, and again, I had the biggest power trip I've ever had, and that's when Vanguard for me was just like, this is a fun game. This was so fun. And so I also built a alternate deck. There was what the heck were they called? They were it was like the Aqua Force, but with the alternate. Remember?
The one for V series or? Oh no, you were talking about the Marine Generals or whatever.
Yes, the Marine Generals. Yes, I built that one. I don't think I used it much though, which is the problem.
Yeah.
It's over there somewhere. But yeah, I built that and didn't play with that one too much. You know, the game was still a lot of fun. But the problem about Aqua Force, maybe people don't like it for, is that it's very luck based. Yeah. Meaning, if you don't have the A, B, and C to go off for it, you're kind of in for a bad time, unfortunately.
And on top of that, they have lower attack than most cards, and because they're attacking so much, your opponent can get damage triggers, which boost their Vanguard's attack. If they get too many, you just have to go, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't attack anymore.
Yes. Yeah, so I want to say that happens, and then, but obviously, time goes on, and G just has to get retired because of what's happening. And V comes in.
Yeah.
And V comes in, and I'm just like, awesome! And there's an Aqua Force clan deck and all that coming in. I'm like, sweet, this is gonna be good. It'll give me a whole new Aqua Force deck. I get it. I play with it. I'm just like, oh gosh, I don't like this the same way I did my G series deck. So we explained it. I think you got the what the heck were they called? The cards that you got when you played Read
the imaginary gifts.
The imaginary gifts.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I thought they were a cool idea. Oh my gosh, dude! I did not like these things nearly as much as Grade 4 is.
Same.
I just listen. Look, I understand it. I think at this point we're kind of just in rejection. We're kind of just like, this is fun, right, guys?
This is fine.
This is fun. This is fun.
It's not as fun as G era, but who cares?
Yeah. So and we get this. I'm playing with it. I'm having fun with it. But that lack of me wanting to put any more effort into redoing it up was not there. And V was my only deck, the only thing I ever put into V series.
Yeah.
Because let me put it this way, V is almost where if they had not come through with this game would have died. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be straight up honest that we're getting through these decks and all that, and I'm going through all these, and while they're cool and all that, I'm just like, this there's no soul to this anymore. This G just had so much there, and just V did not have it for me. It was like like they tried to take like the same like outer body of it, but if you try to reach inside, there's no the freaking innards.
Yeah,
it's
the
just
complexity isn't there.
it feels empty, and I felt empty. And around this time too, we there's another game called Fire Emblem Cypher, which we had gone into, so that thankfully kind of filled that time void a little bit actually.
Yeah, it did. Now you mention it.
Yeah. So thankfully that was there. So card games for me as a whole did not die ultimately. Also,
There we go.
I was trying to make sure the Busy didn't die all of a sudden. But yeah, so just with that happening and with all that, I'm just like, and we didn't talk about it much, but I was also ever thinking to myself when I saw Vanguard, man, whenever you were just like, you want to play Vanguard? I'm just like, nah, can we play Cypher? I always felt bad, but it's just like, I just don't want to play it. And I just remember thinking to myself, whenever I heard B was dying off, I'm just, well, okay, whatever. And so this leads into the part of the story why I was talking about.
The Great Hope.
The Great Hope Overdress. So I wake up first thing in the morning. I look at my phone. I see I have about 63 notifications from our Card Central chat online, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, what the frick? This chat's so freaking dead. What happened? And I'm going through, and I'm seeing freaking Wyatt talking about so many about nations and all this. I'm like, hold on, hold on. What is happening? Yeah. So I had to scroll all the way to up top. And Wyatt is like, he's like the squire boy coming from the king with this news. And it's like this freaking, like, this savior. And it's called Overdress. I'm just like, okay, so we're getting a new series. Okay, cool. And then next thing I see, clans are no longer a thing. We're getting nations. I'm just like, wait, what? And so then it's talking about how the clans that we normally had, they're all nations now. And how those nations, they can be messed into a deck. And immediately in my head, I'm just like, whoa, what? Any of those nations can be mixed? I'm like, oh. And I'm getting like, this is the first time in a while where I've looked at anything Vanguard related, and I went from being like, okay, this is pretty cool, to like, whoa, this could be very, very, very good. And I'm looking at the lineup here, and I'm looking at it, and what do I see? I see Aquaforce, Great Nature, Mega Colony, and what other two plants were in there?
We got Aquaforce, Great Nature, Mega Colony, Grand Blue, and Neo Nectar.
So, I'm gonna say this right now. I did not play Mega Colony. I knew what its playstyle was, though. And when I heard that Aquaforce and that could be combined, I freaking low-key had like the biggest like ecstasy drive ever. I'm just like, sign me the frick up. Where is this? And so immediately, I don't even think I hopped into here. I'm like that old man that's just huddled up away from everybody else. I come out of like my retirement, and I immediately grab the freaking nation as Aquaforce. I'm like, no one else is having this. This is mine. And it was just like, really fine by us.
Yeah.
And so our what we had got announced was that my nation was going to be Stochia. And so my main cards right now are based around what would be Great Nature. Not the Great Nature in V, but Great Nature redone.
Yes, Great Nature mixed with Aquaforce of all things.
Yes. So basically all Stochia, I imagine, is going to have Aquaforce syndrome. And what I've already described, I got that and more in this deck. So let's put it this way, right? Is that these starter decks were only $4. They were $4 freaking guys.
$25 for all 5 decks.
They're $25 for all 5 decks. You guys paid $40 for those freaking awful freaking Arcani decks.
Not only are they $4 per deck, they have 4 of bosses that will be good for at least 3 years, guaranteed. They have 4 perfect guards. We have the entire ride line, 4 of every important card. Actual game plans, win conditions, everything, and $4 starter decks.
Yes. So, I'm gonna be sure I'm honest when we're getting all this. I'm just like, this honestly seems a little too good to be true sometimes. Because, let's just be all straight up honest here, but, because with G and V, just with them going about that, I'm like, what's it gonna take for this ship to go down, unfortunately? And so I'm just like, I'm hyped, but I'm reserving myself. I'm just like, I'm not gonna give in to the total hope of this is like gonna be my saving grace for this game and make me happy to play Vanguard all over again. Because I'm not gonna declare that yet. So, so we're getting all this new news and all that. And the more and more I see how much this deck has a major Aquaforce syndrome, it may as well be Aquaforce. Great Nature may as well just be Aquaforce. You don't even need Aquaforce cards for Aquaforce to be Aquaforce. Great Nature is just Aquaforce now, reskinned.
Yeah,
pretty much. But with, in my opinion, even better stuff it even adds. But I'll get to that. So, stuff comes up, and it's one of those things where, again, I'm excited, but I'm not getting into it. But I've never seen, let's just put it this way, I've never seen Wyatt in my life be so on top of things with what's coming out and what cards are announcing. Also being like, yo, Adam, guess what card you got? And every time I'm just like, you know what, that is actually really good. And so, I'm gonna be straight up honest, I don't know if it's because my head's getting punched in more and more from my boxing accolades, or I've just gotten older. I'm just smarter as a person now, so I don't need Wyatt to be there to baby me now for me to understand why these cards are so good. I'm looking at their effects, and I just understand it now. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that is freaking good.
Cool thing about Stoic is all the commons are really freaking good.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, guys, what's so good about these is that they're $4 starting decks. They're more fun than the freaking decks I put me $60 into, if not more, in my opinion.
Oh man.
Yes. So, anyways, as we're ramping up closer and closer, the show comes out, and we start watching the show. This anime may unironically be a 10 out of 10 if it does everything right to the very end. I'm just gonna be straight up honest. I have never seen a show where it's about card games for one.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually give a damn about it. I actually care about my character, about the nation they're playing. I care about every other freaking character that's going on in the show. I like how the characters are being developed. I like how it's a freaking just a normal card game show where kids are just playing card games, and how it's very realistic and so good. Anyway, so game day gets here, and you know what? I'm even gonna divulge into the details of what happened. So, thanks to the fun thing of COVID happening right now, obviously still, and
right.
Luckily we're I don't know how the rest of the world fortunately is, but we're getting kind of towards the end of that tunnel, hopefully. But we're still dealing with it, obviously, no matter what. Decks got delayed from Friday to Tuesday. And so, I'm kind of just like, whatever. It's like, Wyatt over there is dying, but me over here, I know how to have my patience on things. Let's be straight up honest. I waited for Persona 5 for 3 years. Nothing in my life will ever make me wait that long ever again. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, the delivery service is telling Wyatt, yeah, we're almost there. I get to Wyatt's place thinking it's gonna be there. Guys, I got there at 2:15. Cards didn't get there till about freaking 6 o'clock.
I was so upset too. I was like actually mad.
I started getting upset too. I was just like, dude, I'm not even upset I got here. He's just more upset I was just not here yet. This is my day off too.
And then they got here.
Yeah, so they got here. And so we went over to Isaac's place. And, we're unraveling it, And, and I'm happy. I'm just like, this is my deck, and this is fun. I get to playing it. Guys, this is the most fun I've had with a freaking Vanguard deck in 2 years. In 2 freaking years, I wanted a deck to make me want to care about this game again. And it did all that and some more. Let's put it this way. A guy who went from not caring about Vanguard to looking at his deck every night and being like, yeah, this is my deck. I'm happy about my deck. And seeing all the cards I have coming in now to even make it even better now as well. And that's why I realized this is a good card game. But just, yeah, Overdress right now, it just, right now in my opinion, the game could not be in any better of a spot. The starter decks are so good alone. The cards that we got in the first set pack alone are so freaking good. And we were talking about it as well. The cards that we're getting in set pack 2 are also really freaking good. And so we're getting to the point right now where it's so freaking good, we don't know what cards we want in our freaking decks because they're all so freaking good. What do you take out and what do you add in? And that's the problem we're having right now. And that's a good problem to have.
Because you don't want power creep that just makes every card stronger. You want cards that give you options.
They give you options and that are unique. Because I will say with my deck is major weakness is one, it's luck, because Stoicheia has Aquaforce Syndrome, meaning it gets all of its weaknesses still, unfortunately. The other problem that Aquaforce also had was that I am not a very soul prevalent deck. I have no way really of building up my deck except for Persona writing. I have no way of getting my soul up. And there are card effects which rely on soul, which is fine.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if you only have, your grade 0, your 1, and your grade 2, and you get no chance to Persona ride, you only got 3 soul to work with. So not only are you worried about that, you gotta freaking manage, you know, your
Resources.
Your resources. This is major crunch. But I'm getting a fix for that though. But the great thing about that though is that they're even giving me the freaking option for that. In V-Series, they would have not given me this option. No way. They would have been like, hey, I was getting some more cards to make it more powerful. Cool. Fix my problem though. Give me an option at least to fix my problem. Gosh damn it.
Actually, Adam put us smoothly right into the next point. Our thoughts on the starter decks and set 1 as a whole.
Yes.
Let's move on to Joshua's thoughts.
Yes.
Starter decks and set 1 as a whole.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh makes you buy 3 decks.
True. It comes with 1 copy of every card, $10 each. You get to pay $30 for your starter deck to be.
And that's like garbage. And then like in the American version, they keep getting like harder to find cards are getting replaced with like Raigeki. Stuff like that. Well, this one's just like
It's like, hey, you want 4 Bruce, who's going to be good for a lot of Vanguard? You want freaking perfect guards? Oh, what? You want Steam Colossus? There you go.
yeah. As for the decks themselves, could just buy a deck for $5 in your tournament. You're good.
As if you can get one right now,
Yeah.
anyways.
They're so overpriced right now, it's so hard to get. We're basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was looking at one possibly for Jackson to come play with us. They're freaking $20 right now on Amazon.
Yeah. The only decks.
Which honestly, I can even argue is worth it for that price. But also, I know that that's not meant to be that original price.
Yeah, the only 2 decks I found at $5 were Dragon Empire and Stoichea.
Yeah, sounds that right.
Also, they're all fun.
Yeah, they're all fun.
They're all freaking fun. We should all mention that, by the way. There are definitely better decks than others. I can safely say though that none of these are boring in any fashion at all. And everyone has their own mechanics, in my opinion. Everyone feels fun, and you know, and even out of low tier deck, you still have a chance of winning. Doesn't mean you're gonna of course your odds are decreased. But in my opinion, so long as you're having fun, doesn't matter if you win or lose. In my opinion.
Yeah. Starter decks are so fun by themselves.
Yes, they are.
And boxes make them more fun, but you don't need them.
Yeah. And set 1. What are your thoughts on set 1 there?
What are my thoughts on set 1?
Yes.
Eden.
Speed,
Yeah. Like, set 1 has
and this guy.
really strong cards for your deck that you're also going to want to buy boxes for to make your starter decks way stronger.
That's what matters. You can buy singles.
Yeah, you can buy singles. But because of how they fixed the boxes in Overdress, none of these cards are too expensive. Like, the most expensive card is the Overtrigger for Keter Sanctuary. It's like $40. But you can only have 1 Overtrigger anyway.
Yeah, so
you're not buying multiple Keter Overtriggers, you're just buying the 1.
that's sending you into crippling debt to make a good deck.
Exactly. Like, me and Isaac have the most expensive decks at $100.
Yeah.
Most card games, it's like $500.
Yes. And to be fair, we got most of your guys' good cards too, so you're not even paying like that. You're paying maybe like less than half of that. If you want to really be like, this could use a bit more optimization.
Exactly.
So I got Barrow Magnus. I want to make that. I didn't get a deck, but I can also just make my Bruce deck more fun.
Especially with Eden.
Eden. This guy's good.
Team Gunner. Good common.
Good comment. Oh, this guy.
Protobulb Dragon. Pick a card from your soul, put it in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So, the problem with soul charging is you might get your best cards in the soul.
Yeah.
Protobulb gets those guys back out.
Yes.
Because I am constantly putting triggers in there when I don't want to, and Bruce loves the soul.
You can get Bruce out for a guaranteed Persona ride.
Well, I have the problem of no soul. Bruce is all about sucking it back in. You're just like, wait, hold on. No. I didn't want that in there. Please stop.
Exactly.
That guy,
You have an option to fix it.
Yes, exactly.
and it's not, you know.
Which is a good thing, guys. Options are good.
It's
Don't give bigger and badder cards. Give options.
Yeah.
Which I think they finally realized.
It's not the $5
Yeah, it's not that trash.
where every card was
The same card.
literally every card had the same freaking, what was it, grade 1?
Yeah, the
Like
same
you
grade one.
boost and then you something, I don't remember.
Boost Soul Blast 5, give a Vanguard plus 5k.
5.
No, I mean Soul Blast 1. Oh no, what I was saying. That track card would be trash.
That you'd have to pay me.
And then, can I go? Or is there anything else you want to say about set 1 that you love?
I think this.
Alright, so I'm about to go on a freaking trip
Yeah.
here.
Go
Before
for
I
it.
get anything I got.
So, they announced set 1, and I'm like, alright, $40 for a Vanguard box, this is gonna be nuts. They announced they're getting rid of VRs, which were so rare you only got 1 per box. So now all of the best cards are triple rares, and you get 4 triple rares per Vanguard box. And Vanguard box is already cheaper than most boxes.
Yes.
So this is nuts already. I'm hyped. SPs, which are like 1 every 5 boxes, guaranteed 1 per box. Over triggers, guaranteed 1 per box. Guaranteed at least 4 of the new perfect guards per box. I'm over here like, how could this get better? What's going on? And then they announce like all this crazy stuff, and on top of that, they're like, hey, do you want commons as strong as triple rares in B series? Here's a card that gives grade 3 shield. Common. Here's Ghost Chase, which lets you reuse all your cards. Common. All these amazing cards at common. And the balance is insane. Bastion is obviously the best deck right now, but he has weaknesses. Decks that can rush him down before he can go off, he struggles against because he has such bad shield. Like, Overdress decks and Stoicheia decks, he just struggles against. He doesn't struggle as much as some decks like Eugene struggle against their bad matchups, but
Yeah.
the balance is nuts. Like, there's only one tier 3 deck. Everything else is either tier 1 or tier 2. Every deck is insanely fun, has their own gimmick that makes you feel like it's your deck, your characterization. Box came with 10 different deck types. Friggin' none of the cards are too strong. It's like, instead of thinking what to say, it's just so many good stuff I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You can easily share a box with some friends, and you all will get good stuff.
Yes.
It's honestly the best box. Like, even if the box alone is as fun as G-Guard era Vanguard, which was insanely fun, except with easier to get cards, more balanced cards, and more interesting mechanics. Like, everyone's interesting. I don't like his Orphist, but everyone loves Orphist, so I'm just crazy.
Right.
It's like, this is such a good box. Like, oh my gosh. Easily the best box ever in Vanguard. And set 2 promises to not power creep set 1, but simply give you more options that fix your deck's weaknesses.
Yes.
Which Oh, also orders mean something now. Orders were introduced in V series were trash. No one used them, and now we all have orders in our deck. At
Yes,
least one.
and they're really freaking good.
Yeah. And all to say about set 1, really. The start decks are really fun. Set 1's the best box we've ever had. It's gonna get reprinted in August, thankfully. Well, let's just talk about the anime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I was gonna add a little note there actually, because I didn't even talk about it. Is that we haven't done too many box openings like this before, because and even sometimes, unfortunately, what happens as well is just due to the thing of us known as RNG, especially among 4 people.
yeah.
What sometimes you can witness is 3, maybe even 2 people get really good cards for their decks, but then the other 2, unfortunately, don't get anything. This is the first time where we opened up everything, everyone got the things they pretty much wanted, plus more, in my opinion.
To be fair, we bought 2 boxes,
Yes, that is to be fair.
and the second box, I got screwed over.
We also lucked out, and both times our SP was another triple rare.
Yes. Like, that
Yeah.
was a really good box, but I specifically did not get much.
Yeah, but box 1, Isaac got screwed,
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
but who cares? 'Cause we both got everything we needed.
Yeah. So all in all, I can't we can't say any more too good about how these were and how box 2 is just gonna get us more options. And I just can't wait till what's beyond that.
There is one cool thing. So boxes used to be once per month, which just drains your money.
Yep.
And card shops also hate it. Now boxes are 2 to 3 months apart. Like
Which
normal
is
card games.
really freaking good. I don't know why you would bother trying out so many boxes at a time. Give us a freaking break.
They don't have 24 clans to make, so they don't have to worry about that anymore.
That is true, actually.
Oh yeah, and one last thing to say. One thing people worried about was clan identity being muddied
Yeah.
in the nations. I still think clan identity's there, because you still have your deck. You just have to share it with other people in your nation. Like, you can still be the Hex Orb guy. You're sharing your spotlight with me, Bastion.
Yeah. It's just also then with how the nations are mixed up, it's like you could do so many combinations with this that everything would just feel like not the same anymore at some point.
Yeah.
It would just feel so different.
In fact, because the deck building's got more options, everyone has more characterization in their deck than ever before, I'd argue.
As long as they keep up with the good thing of options, then guess what? Everyone gets their own freaking ideas and options. Even if you have a deck so similar to somebody else's, there might be like 2 cards that freaking mean the whole difference in your decks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's like a freaking good card game.
And that's why they got the pro card game players and the Vanguard team to make this, and you can tell with the quality.
Yes, yes.
Now let's move on to the anime. Who would like to start on this one? Tell us your thoughts on the anime, my friend.
My thoughts are what?
What are your thoughts on the anime?
No. My thoughts are what? I was expecting this Vanguard card game show, and then Donji shows up. It's like, he's funny. And then it got really gay, and I was like, what? Okay, so that's an episode, and then
If you like gay, you'll love Overdress.
Yes.
yes, will, because
Hey,
There's
it's
a lot of it.
it's Pride Month, so why not?
Yes.
Go crazy! Watch it right now.
Yes.
I just wasn't expecting it. I was like, it's not like a little gay. It's
It either borders on like okay to like.
Yeah.
Is this a kids show?
Some of it feels like bait for people who hate bait, but also some of it feels genuine, like how Donji's like, or how like you use like I'm a girl, I'm a dude, you do that right, and Donji's like, who cares?
And then the second episode was, well, there was a card fight, but you didn't really watch it. episode was focused on those two doing things, and then Megumi going, "Aww,"
and it gave characterization to all the characters. It was really good. It was really funny.
yes. And then eventually they made the wrestling episode
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
featuring
yeah.
actual wrestler from Japan.
What's
Yes.
his name? It's like Hiroita something. I don't remember.
He was so pleased by it. He set his own Twitter avatar as that character from the anime.
Yeah.
Well,
Good for him, because I didn't like that episode. Oh, I loved the plot twist at the end. I won't spoil.
yeah.
They play their decks like real people.
Yes, they do.
I like that. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Where like Yami Yugi's running like trash and wins every time.
Every time. And Kaiba's also running trash.
Yeah. Every time a character runs like unoptimal cards, it's always like super rare cards that make you go, maybe it's because of money issues. Like you use 15, he can't afford 4 for Valiente.
Yeah.
And it shows.
And it feels good.
Yes.
Because it's like, wait, that's like real life.
Yeah.
Aichi ain't gonna be running 4 Blaster Blade in his universe. How is he doing that? They're actually like bringing that to the card game.
Which they could have easily ignored.
Yeah.
Also, you can watch the episodes on YouTube if you want.
Yes, you can.
But
If you can, watch them on Crunchyroll.
Oya's episode
Yeah.
specifically.
Episode 6, please watch that on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
You can just watch like the first half on YouTube even. But
Yeah, don't.
We're not gonna spoil why. Just make sure if you watch the anime, especially episode 6, watch it on Crunchyroll. Please do yourself a favor. And if you don't, and you say, "Screw those guys, I don't need to," you're gonna freaking cry your eyes out. Why? Because explaining any further why will be any kind of spoiler.
also, it doesn't take 3 episodes to do a card game.
Oh, that's true.
Yu-Gi-Oh! They're
like
sitting there.
10 minutes.
Remember what happened 3 episodes again, opponent?
Yeah, I do.
Well, are we done talking? Can I draw my card now?
Yes.
It's like the freaking Dragon Ball Z.
Card game.
Yeah.
Well,
games.
Vanguard, it's over in like a minute.
Because they're talking while playing. They're like, so what do you think, Donji? Plays card. You think you can beat me? And Donji's like, go ahead and try, kid. He's playing
Plays
his
card.
cards. And there's so much detail in the card game. Like, they'll do things that if you know the card game, you're like, whoa, that was a good move.
Yeah.
But if you don't play the card game, you're just like, I don't really know what's going on, but I like the characters.
Actually, I'll save something.
Okay. Is there anything else? The animation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna bring up.
It's animated better than a lot of shows I've seen.
Yeah, it is.
The animation's short on some of those fights, but they're worth watching. I guess that makes it my turn.
Yes, I can.
Overdress is the best season we've had since season 1, which is the best season. Period. It's got amazing characters that are all likable. It's got realism. They have sleeves on their cards. They're not running freaking $80 cards with no sleeves. They have sleeves. Protect their cards. You can see how rich a character is. Like Toya, he doesn't have a lot of money, so he runs the cheap sleeves. They're like see-through. But Donji, who has like 18 jobs, he buys the Team Blackout sleeves for all of his guys.
Yeah.
And it gives you, like, there's so much camaraderie. Like this episode where Yu becomes a new player and everyone's like, hey, man, you need cards? I got cards, here you go.
They freaking open up a freaking like, giant white box worth of like so many cards, and it's just like.
Someone was watching that with someone, they were like, who would be giving away all their cards? And I'm looking at myself like, I don't know. Well, here I am instantly like, oh, you need cards? Rooks, there you go. Have fun. Just play with me.
That's why at conventions, like whenever we do go back to them, we have to just carry a bunch of like spares on us. There's gonna be like that one kid It's gonna be like that one group just like us, like, but they're like 16-year-olds. They're like, yeah, we got you doing cards and everything. And we're just gonna be like, yo, kids, hey, you hook up with me. Listen, look, we got all these cards for you. You know, listen, look, hey, kid, here, come here. Listen, I'm gonna give you this card for Socia. That's so cool. Yeah.
It's so good. Oh man, the characters all have their own dynamics. The characters are relatable.
There's stuff that made me want to cry my eyes out.
They're human. Some episodes feel like filler so far, but
It's fine.
it usually gets fixed by an amazing card game or like an amazing episode. Characters have jobs. They have lives outside of the card game. It really feels like the card game is just like something they adore.
It's kind of like a substitute in there. It's like this may be like a slice of life show, but with card game elements.
And like every character has like two sides to themselves, like it's persona or something.
Yeah.
And they have really good backstories. Oh my gosh. It's one of the best anime I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I can't even laugh to that. True.
And the animation in the fight scenes are phenomenal. The card fights I actually like more. Even though they explain less, they play more like real players.
Yes.
Like in a normal card game anime, they'll be like, I play this guy. Whoa, he played Dark Strain Dragon? It can boost if he Soul Blasts too? It's more like the announcer will tell you what that card does while they're still playing. To give you an idea of what he's doing. He won't like...
It doesn't need to cut away, you know, it's not like the character opening the raffles and just, whoa, what card it's bad news.
And there's no holograms. It's just them playing, and then when they get really hyped in their head, it's a really well animated fight scene.
Guys, listen, look, I've been watching Demon Slayer recently, and I can't say it's on the same level as Demon Slayer animation. Taking a step down though, and that's still an amazing animation studio done. And
we identify the characters so much, we all have our own character that we want to like root for. Like I root for Toya. He's like the rival guy, but I'm over here like, you got this, Toya. Yeah. I relate to him so much.
Yeah.
He's such a well-written character. His episode was amazing.
I am relating to my character a little too much, despite it just being a girl, which is really fun.
It's... You go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, they very much listed off of so many points. I mean, from a sheer fact of this is supposed to be a freaking card anime, I'm gonna say this one more time, guys. This is a anime that's about cards. It has no right to be this good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it feels so human. It's just, there's nothing out of place about this, you know, besides the fact that they conveniently have like an abandoned, you know,
amusement park
to play at. Yeah. But even then, it's like,
that's cool.
Sure, that can happen still, right? It's like, that's not out of the realm of possibility in current world, possibly, you know? And just that, it's just, yeah, again, it's just the fact that they have card sleeves, and, you know, they just want people to get into their card game. You know, people feel like human beings and not like robots. They're meant to play their game, and it's just this. So, yeah, it's just all in all, this is a very quality show. And I'm not gonna lie, so long as it keeps this up, I will make this one like on my few spots. This will be a 10 out of 10 anime, just because of how well it will actually execute. Being a card anime, I cannot believe I'm saying this again. This is a card anime that could be possibly a 10 out of 10 in my book. And if you know me, I'm a freaking shonen trash boy who gets his thrills out of freaking people beating each other up. But yes,
I've been showing this anime to people who don't even know what Vanguard is, and they're like, "This is rad."
Yes,
I love watching this.
It's
so good.
Yes, it's. Yeah, just all in all, what they've done with Overdress is just, it's a complete 180 from where we were.
Also, it's not going to be 80 bazillion episodes.
Yes.
12 episodes season 1, 14 episodes season 2, then it's done for now.
Yeah.
That's so easy to watch.
Yes, it is. It's very digestible.
Yeah.
But even then, I sometimes find the struggle to even finish a show like Demon Slayer. I want to finish this episode. I'm just like, I'll get there eventually. episode 19. Like after like 2 months, I'm like, it's some kind of progress. To be fair, the only reason why we're up to date on Vanguard is because every Friday night you're just like, guys, it's Vanguard night, get in here. Oh, it was so bad. I had like a rough day. Not a rough day. It's just I had like my first sparring session Wednesday. I took a nasty liver shot and I was recovering from that Thursday. And so I had like a Toya moment where all I thought about was just improving my skills. So I went to the gym that day on Friday, and I just worked on the bag for like hours. I got home. I went to Discord. I saw I had like 7 pings. I'm just like, either this is a server which pings me all the time for notifications, or this is something else. I see that's from our server. I'm like, what? Wait, what the frick happened? And then I just see, Adam, where are you? Adam, just like, oh wait, it's Friday. No. I was like, I did the cardinal sin.
I still sat with him to watch his episode.
Yes, but also we also had things to talk about that night, which were a lot of plans for this channel. Which but I didn't know if you had anything else.
Last thing I want to say is all of our favorite characters, why we like them. Mr. Donji, you may go first.
Idiot.
Donji is it.
He's really stupid, but
We love him.
he's manly. He loves his friends. He doesn't care about gay stuff at all.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
He's just like, I'm so gay. Or he's so straight. I can also be gay.
Yes. He's just like, he's really cool.
He's also voiced by freaking Josuke from Part 4.
He's the greatest card games ever. He has 18 jobs. He kissed my mom, and I didn't even care.
Yeah. Big bro, dumb idiot, hardworking dude. I don't know.
Really manly, but really accepting too. My favorite Donji line is, "A man should never hit a woman. Then again, he shouldn't hit men either. Also, you shouldn't hit dogs." Which...
Wasn't that the very first episode?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we heard that line and we're just like, Don is amazing.
He respects women and men.
And dogs.
And dogs. I respect dogs too.
Yes.
My favorite character is Toya, because he's me.
He is literally you.
Like, the first time they characterize him, which is like the credits of episode 5 for some reason, like everyone talks about their card like, dude, my card can do this, it's so strong and rad, you'll love it. How Toya talks about his card, he's like, well, you see, Bastion is plus 2,000 to all grade 3s, so with an 8k boost, you're hitting for magic numbers. Also, if you get a card that can boost from the back that's 3k, it can go to even higher numbers, he can restand, and they cut him off because he's talking about...
I don't think I saw that ending bit, but that sounds funny.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, that one was me.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like talking about how cool her card is, I'm literally talking about what my card does. And then his episode...
Happens, finally.
Yeah, and then...
There was a moment where I don't even relate to it, but it cut so deep that I felt it. Like, I felt like the second-hand whiplash from him. I'm like, oh no!
Where he's just playing with all his friends in school because he just got Vanguard. And they're like, dude, I don't want to play with you anymore. You're way too good at this.
And I felt that so hard. I was just like, oh no, this must be so bad. This hurts so bad for Wyatt.
And I was like, oh no.
I know that pain.
I feel it. He's supposed to play with his friends, man. And like,
Gosh.
Toya gets way too in the card game, but he tries to be a responsible person that is like an amazing friend, and I like him. He's also really smart. I'm not that smart, but
And he's about to have his villain arc as well.
I can't wait to see what happens. Because he's now me. He's like me. If you put Yu and Toya in the same character, that's me.
Yeah.
And even then, they relate to each other in the show.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say, but it's funny to say that. My character and Donji, put those two together, that's pretty much my character.
Yeah.
I'm a stupid big idiot who didn't grow up with many friends, and then happened to find some, and then I was just like, I don't play card games. They're just like, that's fine, get over here and play some card games. Because like when they had that happen to her in her episode, I was just like, this is literally my character. It's creepy. It's freaking creepy how like they guess that somehow. Because let's put it this way, guys. We didn't pick this based on what we knew before any of these characters. We based it on what they were gonna be playing like.
Yeah.
And what they look like. And so, and just seeing how they end up being, it's creepy. It's so freaking creepy.
Like, I got Toya just because he also ran Keter Sanctuary, and then oops, he just so happens to be me.
Yeah.
And then he runs Stoikea. Oops, Megami just so happens to be him.
Yes.
He picks Donji. Oops, Donji just so happens to be pretty much him.
And Isaac may as well be actually Yu-Yu, like, non-ironically. Isaac is literally Yu-Yu, through and through. There's no mixing of other characters. Isaac is literally Yu-Yu. He's the smallest out of all of us. He's the cutest out of all of us. It's just like, how does this work? Is this like what we know, what we call in the universe, like perfect, like conditioning, like conditions?
Is it because they know the people who play these type of nations and are like, yeah, that's definitely the type of people.
Do they get like analytics for this or something? I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
It's only that it makes sense.
There's one other situation where I thought was really creepy. It was like in Environmental Nations. It was between who were the two characters? Where it was like me and you, like, and I felt like it was an actual high school situation.
Oh yeah, it was Linhart and Caspar.
Yeah, Linhart and Caspar. It was a situation where like, in high school, I'm so loud. In high school, I was very loud, and I would not shut the hell up. I just remember, like us being like, and this is a sidestep. I remember getting us in trouble because we were talking about Persona at the time. If anybody knew me in high school, oh gosh, Persona was my life. Dude, Persona was my everything. And nowadays, now that I don't talk about it, I realize, oh, I've actually had character development in my life. But then there was like a situation like that in Fire Emblem, and I'm just like,
Caspar's like, dude, I'm gonna have all these fights. Oh, how do I even beat these guys? And Linhart's over here like, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. And I was sitting there just like, this is creepy. This is too realistic. It wasn't so much so I was having fights like in high school, but I was just obsessed with what I was talking about because it just wasn't what you were into at the time at all. You're just like,
but I would still try to listen and then give my 2 cents.
You're 2 cents in. But yeah, and I was just like, this is creepy. But yes, regardless, I think we all can say Overdress is freaking amazing and may just be the best rendition of Vanguard we've ever had.
Yes. Please watch it. Please.
Play the game. Get your friends into it. I don't care if you freaking out, shove them out in a chair or whatever. Just make them play this game. Make them watch the anime. I guarantee you'll have a ball.
Yes.
And also, we say this, we don't get a damn dime from this, guys. We just love this. Just go do it.
Although if Bushiroad ever wanted to, like give me a box to review on YouTube.
Hey, we'll do it for free. We'll do it for free. We'll do a free sponsorship here. Bushiroad, you listening? We'll be as shameless as possible. We'll freaking run as many ads as you want on the channel. We'll
We're gonna turn to the YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll make a secondary Vanguard Overdress channel.
Yes! KuzunohaDetectives Agency After Dark Hours of Vanguard. It's actually a very fun idea eventually, but that's way too soon.
And now the last thing I have set up here. What is your favorite rear guard, and what sort of cards would you like to see in future sets?
Oh, I know exactly what my favorite one is.
We'll start with Joshua since we know his already. Eden.
Oh, they're not surprising.
Please tell me why you like Eden.
Cause he attack and then it's like okay, but then you stand back up and he gets crit
And 5k.
5k
And he has the pressure because if he hits one of the cards, he kills it. And since he's restanding anyway,
yeah,
he has 2 chances to kill something with immense pressure.
He's also an SP rare, so I just feel sentimental value.
He's a really cool card. My favorite card actually isn't my triple rare. It's this guy, Posado.
What the frick? I haven't seen you use that one yet.
A really simple card He just says he can't be chosen by card effects, so you can't retire him. And when he hits, countercharge, soul charge 1, so you get one of both resources. Really hard to do. And it's really good in Keter because they use both resources a lot. And what's funny is, I thought he wasn't going to be that good, because on hit means your opponent has to block him. Because they're just going to be like, oh, I'm not letting that hit me.
Yeah.
In Bastion, you swing so hard that the opponent actually has to think, do I let that hit me? Because, it'll be the easiest one to deal with, but... and then you can restand it for a second chance to get both your resources back.
Yeah.
And then you give your opponent more essential crisis to even deal with even further, like, oh, frick, dude.
And the opponent has to run into this to kill it, because he can't just retire it.
Yeah.
And the Barrow Magnus, similar.
Yeah,
It's a grade 2, but
it one thing that's I love about Overdress is the power level's worse than the other series, but it has way more mind games. This card alone has so much mind games to it
Yes.
that it became my favorite rear card. Also, his art is cool.
Yes. That is really cool, actually. That reminds me of like a dark paladin kind of deal.
He's like some sort of mix of a shadow paladin and a royal paladin, where he's a good guy, but he's obviously got some dark to him.
That's some Shadowbringer stuff right there.
wow.
What's your favorite rear card?
So, since my deck is all about combos and everything, I actually will talk about two that play
Okay.
into each other very well. Which is my Conspiring Mutant and Metis, which is a giant
Mantis?
and then my Spurring Maiden Elena. So, the way these two cards work is that whenever my Mantis goes down the field, I place it on the rear guard, I just one out of the rear guard and give it 5,000. And you guys may think, well, that's only one, but that you only do that one time. It's like, oh, well then, and I'm not even going into the full list of what we can do here. So let's just say I go, well, retire, put something else there. But then Alina can come along, and once I put this on the field, I counter blast, and I soul blast one. I choose a grade 2 or less. I call it and I give it 5,000, and I just go, oh well, man, this happens to be in my drop zone. Place that, and I give another card 5,000. And guess what? You set up more power in that way, and that's not even including all the combos I get to do with setting up things to attack things as well.
Mantis has so much versatility just from his stupid effect I thought was bad.
Yes, you're telling me you're like, this is to worry about. And then you came back and you're like, never mind, I freaking lied. This thing's amazing.
And Elaine just makes the Mantis combos terrifying.
Yes. Only thing about Elena again is that Soul Blast, but guess what? I get a fix for that too. So guess freaking what? It doesn't matter.
And now, finally, what would you like to see in set 2? Or no, anything, like even more sets.
More Barrow Magnus support. But
What would you want Parabanks more of?
hold on.
Making his brain he's just like, oh man, I don't know what to do with the face.
You should know that right now I am out of it. Okay, first of all, where's my Chris deck?
Christian deck?
Yes. Live stream. I need all of those live stream dudes to get their own nation. Christian is, of course, the grade 3.
Of course. They're the ride line.
They're the ride line.
Yes.
Then the cards have to be like more faded the higher the grade.
Yeah. And like the grade 1 guy, you or whatever, like his card text will be like, there's the effect. It'll just be a weird blank space. And then the rest of the effect.
So first of all, getting more of that. Where's that deck at? Second of all, by Barrow Magnus support, I guess I mean it's like very soul. I like hand
Manipulation.
manipulation too. So.
It's like Barrow Magnus, but with more hand manipulation.
Yes.
Which is what he's getting in set 2, thankfully.
Thankfully, that's
But he's gonna be,
I want.
he's gonna love set 2. For me, I want Genesis cards.
Of course.
I want cards.
Oh, that's a thing. I want like Angel Feather, not like here's these guys with a little bit of Angel Feather. I want like Angel Feather.
Yeah, we have a Angel Feather card, but I don't really. But I want cards that do things when you Soul Blast cards.
Yes.
Like, I use this Soul Blast cost, I get a cool effect. That's really fun in Genesis. Honestly, I could keep running Bastion for now, but I want some sort of priest, preferably with a machine gun. And then I would make a Bastion Genesis mix deck, which I can do. And other than that, what I would like to see is less focus on giving us more resources, which is what old Vanguard cards were focused on, and more focus on just like mind game cards, like Fasado, like the Orders, cards that make your opponent think and interact with you.
Yeah.
Then, what cards would you like to see in future boxes?
Oh boy, I thought you never were gonna ask. Give me Aqua Force cards. I know I have Aqua Force deck. I want Aqua Force cards. I want to know what the art is gonna look like. It freaking I like the art of these, so it freaking look amazing. And I would love to see how those cards themselves are actually gonna play. So yes, give me Aqua Force cards.
Please give them Aqua Force cards.
So I already have Aqua Force deck, but I want actual Aqua Force cards.
Yeah,
because that clan's here. It's gonna get cards. I think we've got one on the way, but it doesn't have the best effect. But it's fine. We have set 2 and beyond. So, please.
Yeah. And the main thing I want from all future sets is that we don't try to power creep cards, but keep new options and new fun mechanics.
Yes.
And I think that's it. Basically everything we wanted to talk about.
Yes. And there's one more thing I actually wanted to add of note. This is completely unrelated to any of this, but obviously we have not uploaded anything on this channel in a long, long while. I think November was the last thing we uploaded. We had a bit of a, I guess not even like a board spill, we just didn't talk about it too much, but we plan to bring a lot more content back to this channel. We really want to. I want to focus on this content even more than they're streaming on this, if I'm being straight up honest.
Same.
I have more fun with you lads talking about this crap that I do playing a game on this.
Honestly, same.
Yes. So we're in talks with that. We're talks with with more art getting done for the channel as well. We see how that goes, as well as editing and all that fun stuff. Because editing software is not cheap. And unfortunately, I have the best computer out of all of us. But I'm also the person who has some of the worst time constraints, as well as because I'm trying to run this. I got a job. I gotta be with you guys whenever we hang out. I got a box as well, and that's only taking up more time as I go along with that as well. Yay! It's just like I love everything, but my life is full of things. Also, that I'm addicted to Final Fantasy. That I'm addicted. Don't get it. Please. Spare yourselves the torture of that game, but also play it because it's got an amazing story.
Honestly, speaking of MMOs, hey Bushiro, once season 2's over, give us a little Overdress game. Just a little game that we can all buy and mess around with, and just make our own digital decks.
That'd be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. That would be epic. I think that's it. We're basically done. Well, we'll see you next time, everyone.
With that, we close it off, and we wish you guys a very good night. And we'll be back more soon with more stuff that we plan to continue.
Yes. And hopefully ST5 comes out. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Yes.
Bye-bye.